So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we're taking a look at a Renault Range T mod. Now I've tested quite a few of these now, and to be honest I don't really think the mod is that good. Not really sure on the truck because none of them have really conveyed it that well, but I have to say I've just driven this around the block and I've had a look at the sort of quality of the modding, and I have to say this is SCS quality if not above. So let's get started by taking a look at all of the customization. So as you would expect, it's available from pretty much any Renault dealer. I'm guessing not the ones in the UK, as this is left-hand drive only, and I think you have to have a right-hand drive truck or truck mod to buy it in the UK. I think that's how the game works, but if you go 5 along you should find it easily. So let's go on to customize. You got two different cabins to choose from. You got the sleeper and the high sleeper. Now the high sleeper is much taller than the standard one. If we just use something for reference, let's say the top of those fans there, or the bottom of those fans, look at that. You can see just how much bigger it is. You get this extra sort of design queue that follows around the side. A lot bigger front, a lot more aggressive I'm finding, the way it sort of brings that up and around. But yeah, it's up to you which one you prefer. I do actually like the standard sleeper. I like the sort of way that this line here flows around here, whereas here it's a lot higher. On the inside, I mean, if you have a look at the sleeper here, plenty of room in here. If you look at the top of the seat, still loads of headroom. But with the high sleeper, does that make any difference? I can't actually tell. I don't think I think it's the same interior model actually, which is a bit weird, because surely there's more room inside the high sleeper. Or maybe it's just, I do not know. It just looks like it's higher up more than anything. Yeah, that's a bit weird. But anyway, onto the chassis. Just look at how many chassis are available for this. Starting off down here with the 4x2. I like how it tells you how big the tanks are as well, which is very useful. I haven't really seen a mod do that before, not like this anyway. So you can move up to a 1400 litre tank. You can see them changing as well. I mean, just look at the detail. Superb. You can even have low versions if you want. Look how the wheels sort of tucked into the arch. That's done so well. It's not sort of clipping or anything. You can move down to an 800 litre tank, so the truck could be a bit lighter, so therefore slightly better on fuel economy, but you will have to fill up more often. I'm not sure if that's modelled, but it'd be cool if it was. Then we move on to the rigid. Yes, this does support BDFs and the like. See if I can find the option. Where is it here? So yeah, there you go. You can put your boxes and containers on the back, which is very cool. Moving down, we've then got 6x2s. A lot smaller tank. I mean, look at that, 400 litres, when some of these were like 1400. Pretty interesting. Rigid. And you got 6x2x4. You can see the price difference here as well. So moving from a 6x2 with 400 litres, from a standard 6x2 400 is what, 7 grand, just under 7 grand, about £6,500 upgrade from factory. Obviously if you retrofit it, it'll be a lot more than that. Yeah, then we got 6x2s, 6x2s, 6x4s, loads of different options. Look at that, BDF, so cool. But I'll just go for, let's say that for now. In fact, no, I'll go by 4x2, then I can show you the side skirts. Engines, we've got not a massive range to be honest, but a very realistic range for this truck. You don't really see that many Renaults doing heavy haulage, so yeah, this is a good range. We've got 380 horsepower with 1800 newton meters, all the way up to 520 horsepower with almost 3000 newton meters of torque. And what I like about these from what I'm seeing so far is look how early the torque is available from, 950 RPM. So you're pretty much always in the power band. I mean, 1400, you usually change around 15 to 1600. So yeah, as I said, you're pretty much always in the power band. So that's going to be quite a punchy engine, but we'll see how we do in a bit. I would have thought they were Euro 6 though, considering this is like the new Renault. But yeah, let's carry on having a look. Look how many transmissions there are in here. I've got some 14 speeds, you don't see many of them. 12 speed, 6 speed. I like to go for the 6 speed because I know how snappy and responsive that gearbox is. I haven't tried these MT and MTO boxes yet. I may give that a go, but to be honest, we're not taking that many. Well, we're not really taking heavy trailers at all, so the 6 speed is fine, and it's so responsive in automatic mode. I don't think you can order in real life anyway, you can order these trucks with a manual gearbox anymore. I think it's just automatic. So yeah, you definitely want one of these because they're just so quick to respond and so much more fun to drive. It can be a bit annoying with the 12 speed. Interior, this is one of the sort of problems I've been having with some of the other Renault Range T mods. The interiors have been rubbish. It's just been like a flat 2D texture, and like the door cards are just flat. But look at this, definitely 3D. All of this is really high quality. There's hardly any low textures. Perhaps the wheel could be a little bit higher res. You can sort of see the pixelation a little bit, but the seats are great. I mean, look at the textures on them. Almost looks like a type of Alcantara here. Red seat belts, which is perhaps a little bit too bright. There's not really that many red switches in here that go with it, so maybe if you go for like a red truck, that might work better. But again, there is only this one interior. Now that they've got the sort of textures sorted, it would be cool if we could have a few more interior designs, maybe like a fully black one, black leather, maybe like a, don't know, red leather. That would be cool. You don't see many red leather trucks, I suppose, but yeah, very, very good interior from what I'm seeing so far. Paint jobs, yeah, pretty standard stuff really. You got a custom metallic really, that's all that you want. That's all that I'm bothered about, having a custom metallic. Go for a flat colour if you want, yellow. Yellow looks quite good on this truck, I'm finding. Maybe something like that, looks pretty nice. Might go for that, but we'll just go for silver whilst we're customizing. Just look at how many dots there are on here. You could be here all day doing different specs. But down here, let's start. You can paint this. One of the things that I like about the Renault Range T is that you can create so many different looks to the front of it, because you've got this piece here which you can change, this surround grille, you got these pieces here, the grille itself, this piece, and you can just completely transform the way it looks. I mean, if you have a look at this, I like the way the sort of paint follows that line, with this bit here painted. Or if you make that stock, it just looks nowhere near as aggressive. It looks like it sits a bit higher, but with this, I mean, look at that, so cool. Again, you can paint that, which I think it flows better with that being plastic. Again, it's just personal preference, but and a Polish number plate on there. I'm pretty sure if you don't go for that, it just puts your normal all the trucks on there. You paint the inside of that. Trying to find all the dots here. That's like the grill. Don't think there's any new grills or anything. It would be cool if we had some different ones. This is what I was saying, you can paint or change the colour of this, make that black. If you make that stock, I mean, look at that, totally different. I do think when you make this black, it loses a bit of its signature appearance. Or if you make it paint, I do think it blends in perhaps a little bit too much. Again, it's personal, what you like. Change the colour of the badge, chrome, like a flat silvery look. But yeah, that's up to you which you prefer. Look at that, it's got like a chrome in the centre. That's really cool. Right, what we got up here? Yep, you can paint this, of course you can. Make that black. I suppose if you're going for like an all-white truck, it would be cool having this in sort of stock or black here. Or maybe like that, to break it up a bit. Obviously you can paint that. This up here. I do like that blending in a little bit, I find. I do think on the sort of higher sleeper, I don't like this bit. So having it blending in is pretty nice, to be honest. I think it looks a lot better like that. And then up here, oh, we can put some Truck of the Year badges on it. Have it in sort of a flat black or sort of a silver-y, chrome-y type effect. I don't really like that, to be honest. A bit too showy-offy, isn't it? And it was 3 years ago anyway. Alright, what we got down here? Oh, look at that. I mean, you can change just about everything. The inside of here, the sort of deflectors that channel air around the edge. I'll probably have that black. It blends in a lot better. You can make that sort of plastic as well. Something else to note, it is cheaper to go with the sort of plastic. So if you're doing this on a budget, then yeah, it would be useful to go for all of the sort of stock here. Oh look, it's a no cost option to have that in silver, which is interesting. Yeah, again, you can have that in paint for the same price as the sort of stock. It's cheaper to have that in stock, and that doesn't really make any difference. So yeah, that would probably be the cheapest look. It does look a bit basic, to be honest. Again, have that in stock. I mean, yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, it's completely lost its sort of aggressive face now. You just got the lights and the badge. But yeah, as I said, you can completely change the look of the front. Around here, of course, you can make the steps paint. More Truck of the Year badges. What's this in here? Or the wheel arch. I mean, that paint if you want. What we got in here? What's that? Oh, this. Now I do like this. You can make this sort of a silver look if you want, or black. Looks pretty nice. Now this, whilst I was sort of having a look at the options before I started the video, is a very, very good idea. Now, I know not all of my viewers have sort of high-spec PCs. Ages ago I had a really low-spec PC playing this game, and I just saved up for ages to get a more powerful one like I've got now. So this option I would have really appreciated back then. What it basically does is, currently you've got this 3D sort of engine part, suspension and everything there, which is really cool and great if you got a high spec PC to sort of take a look at it and appreciate it. But if you don't, you can actually opt for this here, which, to be honest, if you didn't know about it and didn't tell you about it, you probably wouldn't really notice anyway. But it saves you, as you can see here, 5 FPS, which, say you're getting, I don't know, 25, 30 FPS, that's like a 20% improvement, pretty much, by going for that. So I find that very, very good that the mod author has put that on there. It's so cool, to be honest, that they've added that in. So yeah, that's one of my favourite sort of features of this mod, sort of considering everything really. You can make that aluminium, not sure why you would. It stands out a bit too much if you ask me. Painted door handles, you can't make them chrome, not that I like chrome door handles anyway, but those are your two options. I mean, look how much more expensive it is to have it paint. It's quite a lot. Let me just do a quick sum here to work this out. I can't do it in my head. 384. So it's 1,300. That's not right, is it? I can't type. Yeah, so it's about 1,300-ish to have it in paint, which is very expensive, to be honest. More Truck of the Year badges. They really want to tell you that this is Truck of the Year, don't they? It's a no-cost option to have that in paint. It is a bit inconsistent the way this is sort of charged. I mean, some bits you can have paint as a no-cost. Some of it plastic is the cheapest. It's all a bit weird, to be honest. I usually do go for plastic mirrors anyway, because I find the paint, your eyes are attracted to them too much, and it makes the truck look a bit weird. So I do like having the plastic. It blends in a bit better, especially when you got like a bright colour scheme. Up here you can paint that. I'm not sure why you would. I don't want that to stand out. Again, paint this. I don't really like having that paint. The visor, there's only two really options for it. You can have it paint, remove it completely, or have it sort of transparent. I do like having a transparent visor, so that's what I'd go for. Up here at the top, this is where you can add the sort of aerodynamic spoilers, different styles for whatever you're looking for. That's a slightly higher version. Covers your sunroof if you do that. Oh no, it's aircon unit. I was wrong. Aircon unit. Right, what's down here? Oh, you can paint the wheel arch, which is nice, especially if you've got this painted down here. What's that add? Oh, little lights there. £880 to add 2 lights. Must be joking. Then £9,000 to add side skirts. That's a lot of money. I know it doesn't matter if you've got like a cheated profile like me, which I use for these videos, because you can't do a test drive Thursday without having unlimited money, because some of the trucks get stupid expensive. But yeah, that's a lot of money, especially if you're starting out. You can have it with or without these sort of rubbery protectors at the top. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Try and zoom in. But yeah, that's a no-cost option to have them on. Chassis cover. All of them are the same price. Have it chrome. It's hardly a chassis cover, to be honest, is it? It's more like a little tread plate. We've done the 3D engine. Back here you can change the height of the mud flaps. No idea why it's so much more expensive to have them like that, but there you go. I think that's pretty much it here. I think we've done all the exterior options. What's that? Oh, we've done that. Let's have a look on the interior. Can't change the wheel. You can put one of these sort of wheel spinnery things on. I don't really like them. Sat nav, it's got a built-in one here, so you don't really need that. You've got all the sort of cabin accessories as you would expect. Oh, we don't have the Michelin Man, which is a bit disappointed. Right, it's the visor. That's the mirror. Put stuff on there. What's that? Oh, that's interesting. You can have like a carbon effect, which I don't really like. Or you can make it silvery to match the sort of white up here and on here. So yeah, so that's up to you which one you prefer. That's how I call the dash options here. You can put a little pot of gold if you want. But yeah, that's pretty much all the options. There's tons and tons of configuration for this. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Right then, so here we are, all fully configured, and as I've just started this little segment, it started to rain, which is a bit annoying. I do like the paint that I've got on here. It's got like a yellowy, orangey tint to it, matching wheels. Sadly, you can't put any side skirts on the sort of 6x4, 6x2 chassis. It's only on the 4x2, which is a bit annoying, because then I just get the tank showing, which sort of ruins my sort of black and yellow theme that I've got going. As I said, you probably saw in the time lapse me spending ages trying to decide how to do the front grille, because there's so many different ways that you can. I've gone for this sort of a black and paint down the centre. It looks pretty nice. The black mirrors sort of don't distract you away from the sort of front and everything. If we get on the inside, it doesn't look like there's any rain on the window, which is weird, or any of the windows to be honest, but the rest of the interior is very, very good. I mean, just look at it down here. I'm not sure if some of these will operate when, for example, if you sort of turn on the cruise control, if that'll work or anything, but if I just turn the ignition on, or the truck on itself, indicators, where's the stalk? There. Got the stalk there. The wipers, I'm not sure which one that's going to be. Got any of these? No, I don't think the wiper one works. The light one definitely does, if you can see up there. It's pretty cool how that moves. And then high beam doesn't really change anything. On the dash, it doesn't have like a traditional speedo, you've only got that digital one. So on the left you got all like temperatures, pressures, fuel level, AdBlue level. I don't really like the screen, to be honest. It's quite low res, it's hard to read. Yeah, it's not the best, to be honest. But you do have those few options. As I said, on the right you got the sat nav, the parking brake, which is animated. hazard warning light, which flashes when you got them on. That's pretty much it for the interior, to be honest. Not a massive amount of options. It's a bit weird about the windows not sort of getting any rain on. It's a bit annoying. Right, let's put it into drive, turn the parking brake off, and let's go. So yeah, the sound, well, wind noise is a bit annoying. The actual sound of the truck I find very authentic and very realistic sounding. I mean, if we speed up here, you can just hear everything working, which is very cool, and the very quick gear shift. If you're wondering, I've got the automatic gearbox set up in economy mode, and even still I find that it's holding onto the gears slightly too long. As we saw in the configurator, the max torque is available up to 1400 RPM. However, this is sort of changing at a minimum at 1700, so there isn't really much reason for it to hold onto the gear that long, because it's got a lot of low end torque, this thing. Right, let's turn into this lane. The indicator sounds are very Renault, very recognisable. I do like them, to be honest. A lot of people think it sounds a bit cheap, but I do like the Renault indicators. It just sort of struck me how small the instrument cluster is. I mean, compare it to the size of the wheel. Look how tiny it is. It hardly sort of comes out of the dash at all. There's very good visibility in front of it, and the sort of worst visibility is around here. It's like a massive lump in the dash. But yeah, it's very, very small, this, to be honest. Probably one of the reasons I find it a bit out of proportion, and I don't like it. I can't... Oh, it's another speeding ticket. 25 limit? Flipping heck. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's a bit small. I do think it could be a little bit bigger and easier to read. Because some of the numbers you have to go like that into it. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this gearbox. It is pretty much a must if you're going to use it in auto mode. If you're going to use it in manual with a H shifter or whatever, yeah, go for the 12 speed. But if you're just going to use it in auto like I am and play it realistic, yeah, this is a good setup. I'll just put my foot down here to see how we do. You see it change down. Right, here we go. Foot down now. So yeah, it's got plenty of power. I just wish the gearbox was tuned with this engine a little bit better. I mean, if I put it in neutral now, can you hear that wind noise? And it's really poor quality as well. It's like a really bad audio file, which is sort of taken away from the experience of driving this. I've got no idea if you can turn the wind noise off. If there's like a setting in one of the files, please do tell me, because I do want to sort of use this truck again. It's pretty good. But yeah, that audio is terrible. It really is. Don't know if let's do a quick sort of top speed run on this thing, so it does. I am sort of having to override the gearbox a bit here, because as you can see, it's revving to like 2000. There's absolutely no point in it doing it, because most of the torque's down here. It doesn't feel that rapid. It feels a bit more responsive around town. To be honest, when you're on the sort of auto strong, look at the mirror there. I can't see anything. Oh, looks like our top speed run's been put a bit short. Got a toll. But yeah, that wind noise. Listen to it here. you can't even hear the engine idle over it. Then under 30 it sort of goes away and it's silent again. It's weird. I've never sort of heard a truck mod like it. Let's put our foot down. So I'm overriding the gearbox now, so third, change up to fourth there. Because yeah, it's a bit annoying, this mod, because it's so very nearly there. The interior is great. There's some like bug with the mirror, but I'll ignore that for now. Oh, hurricane. The engine sounds pretty good. It's just little things that I don't like. I mean, some of the textures on the dash are a bit low. The wind noise, which it's really annoying, to be honest. It sort of puts you off driving it. Right, is that gonna let me out? Let me go anyway. And I think the gearbox could be calibrated a little bit better with it. But other than that, it's a really good mod, to be honest. The configuration is epic. I just wish those little things were sorted out, and this would be a winner, really. Yeah, as I was saying, it isn't really suited to high-speed driving. This, I mean, we're doing 65. There's not much left in it. It's coming up to 70 now. Interestingly, it changed down the gear there. It keeps wanting to rev. Cool, it's 80. This is weird. It's like it's got loads of energy back. After about 75, it's suddenly like accelerating madly. I think that's about it. 83. Slow down to 81 now. Yeah, so 83 is about the max you're going to get it on a flat piece of road, which is alright. You don't need to go that quick in this game anyway. But yeah, you can hear the wind noise at this speed. My god, is it annoying. Let's put back in here, slow it back down to 50. There's not a lot of engine braking either on this. Seems to sort of glide down the road quite nicely. I mean, I haven't even touched the brake yet. We have to put on the brakes now. Oh, the barrier came down, hoping I was going to get through there. There we go. Is there anything else I can tell you about this mod? Not really. As I said, there has been quite a few attempts of this mod out there that I've tested over the weeks I've done years I've done Test Drive Thursday. But yeah, this is definitely the best attempt that I've seen so far. SES said they were working on it a while ago. I've got no idea if they're still doing it, but as you saw, this was Truck of the Year 2015, so it's a 3-year-old truck, probably pushing on 4 now, and yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? I can't see SES releasing this truck anytime soon, to be honest, so this is probably the closest we're ever going to get to a Renault Range T in Euro Truck, which is a bit annoying. SES probably won't release it, but yeah, after like two and a bit years of them developing it, I just can't see it happening, to be honest. It would have happened by now, and we would have had some news about it. Let's just slow it down. The retarder's not that effective, to be honest. That's on full. On like a really steep slope, you'd be in trouble with that. Let's carry on through here. But yeah, the wind noise, you can hear it now. And I'm sure at like these speeds you wouldn't have wind noise like that. So annoying. It definitely looks nice from the outside, I have to say. Still not even touched the accelerator. I have now, just letting this thing roll. I have to come to a stop now. Third, second, first, so cool. It does sort of creep forward as well with the automatic, which is like real life. Still getting quite a bit of lag, interestingly. So it's probably definitely worth going for that 2D engine if you're on a lower spec PC. So if you're interested, I've got a 10. What have I got? Is it? I think I've got a 1080 with like i7 something or other. A pretty new i7 and 8 gigs of RAM. So it's not like a slow PC or anything. And we're doing what? Just under 50 FPS. It's not great, to be honest. So it probably could do with some optimization here and there as well. But if you are interested in this truck and want to give it a go, which I definitely do recommend you do, as I said, it's probably the closest we're going to get to a proper Renault Range T in Euro truck for at least the next 2 years, I'm guessing. So yeah, I'll put a link to it in my mod spreadsheet, and the link to my mod spreadsheet is in the description, as you all know. It's nice around here, doesn't it? It's like an abandoned factory or something. Let's hang a left. Doesn't know what gear it wants. 19 miles an hour down here? Surely not. Bit weird. But yeah, definitely a good truck mod. There's some little bugs here and there that make it a little bit annoying to drive. But yeah, the engine's definitely punchy, as I said. I'm not sure what the other engines would be like. It definitely does feel like it's got 520 horsepower. Some of the trucks that I drive, they claim they've got 520 horsepower or whatever, and it feels like they got 400, but this definitely does perform how you'd expect it to. Just wait for the gates. Let's go in. I'm not sure if we can. Yeah, we can go left. I might go left. Let's see where we've got to park this thing. See what it's like to reverse with that broken mirror. Probably should have came in the other way, to be honest. Now I've got to do a blindside reverse with a tiny wide angle mirror. Could possibly go wrong with this. Right. So there we go. Renault Range T. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye.